Well, thanks for being on the show with me, Louis. It's good to talk to you again. For audience members who haven't heard, Louis is going to be in Albany at the Lark Street Tavern on February 4th. I'm very excited to talk to him about his new special on YouTube called Present Tense, which, along with his recent appearance on the number one live podcast, Kill Tony, both videos are approaching 1 million views, and I'm excited to see it. I've been a big fan for years, so welcome to the show, Louis, and thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to do the show, and yeah, it's big things happening lately. You know, the special, like you said, is about to hit 1 million, and the feedback's been good. You know, you expect people to say mean, horrible things on YouTube for comments, but you'd be surprised. People are actually legitimately into the special, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm not surprised. Your last two albums were killer, and
Thank you.
I think it's about time you threw some video up too. Your what's it called? This Can't Be Happening, or is that the right name?
This is not happening. Yes,
This is that.
I did have that one. It's a long form story. It's about 20 minutes, and that's a video online too. But unfortunately, that was for Comedy Central, so it wasn't. It wasn't attached to my site.
Yeah.
So people really love that. It has like almost 3 million views, but it just gives Comedy Central more followers and not me. So this one I did on my own.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good comedy album that's just audio, but it's like I said, it's nice to see the special finally out, and I'm really excited that you're coming to Albany. And you know, I've seen you open for a tell in Albany before, and I've interviewed you before, and you seem to be pretty open to Albany, but Albany's the butt of a lot of jokes, and I hope you can leave with a positive attitude about Albany. But I guess on a related note, I was curious if there's any markets around the country that were particularly disappointing for you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone says Albany's beautiful in January, so I'm sure. I look forward to the bringing a little bit of light to the bleakness that's happening in January. But I don't know. I mean, you'd be surprised. It depends how it's marketed. You know, I say is kind of, and there's cool people everywhere, which is really one of the best things when you see you touring. I'm not just saying that. The country seems very divided, and there's people that have all different kinds of viewpoints in all different parts of the country, and people that are open to all different things. That being said, I think that Phoenix and Arizona's like the Florida of the desert is really what it is. It's like they traded Cubans for Mexicans, and which I love both of them, but I'm just saying that's the difference. and there's less Jews, and
It's Florida if they needed the water level to rise.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's and also I prefer Mexican food to Cuban food, so that maybe is a step up for that. But besides that, there's a Floridian weird hot douchiness to Arizona that it shares with Florida, I would say. But there's some cool stuff there, just like there's everywhere. So maybe that's just a place that I noticed. I didn't realize that about it last time I was there, and last time I went, I was like, oh, it's got some Florida vibes.
Yeah. I'm excited that you're coming to Albany. You're right, it is bleak in January, but hopefully it's a good time for you. I'm curious to know like what you'll be talking about, because your last special, congratulations again on your recent marriage.
Thank you.
But as you've pointed out in some podcasts, it's kind of awkward because a lot of Present Tense, which was filmed, almost 2 years ago now?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
It's a lot of material about being single and about being underrated before you had a special approaching 1 million views. So how is the new material differing? Are there any like particular themes that are coming up a lot in your new material?
Well, yeah, a lot of it is about. I just got married in July, so even so last July, so that's new. There's a lot about marriage. Excuse me. There's a lot about my it's kind of about, I would say it's about me kind of like finally growing up very late in life, and also dealing with my parents aging at the same time, and maybe that's forcing me to grow up a little bit. If I had to say there's themes, I'd say mostly it's like just trying to get the handle on adult life, and in various forms. And I think the last hour it's very funny, but it's basically like present tense is like it's a breakup special. It was filmed. It's all material based on a breakup that was already a couple years old due to the pandemic when I filmed it, and it's kind of cynical. And maybe the new hour isn't as cynical as the other one. It's a little maybe less dark.
Yeah. So despite the darkness, it was very silly, which you're very good at doing with dark subjects. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm excited to keep hearing the new jokes. Do you feel like since that special, are there any new milestones you feel like you've reached or new things you've realized about comedy?
Oh, that's what I love about it is that I just keep growing and keep learning things, and that's it's really amazing. Like you think you figure things out, and there's still more to go. So what I'm kind of like, I think my performance skill has gotten better since that taping. I think I'm just a better performer. I'm more in the moment when I'm on stage. I think I realized that for a lot of years, this is getting very technical, but like for a lot of years, I would kind of like, if the audience wasn't laughing, I'd kind of like push the audience to laugh by delivering my jokes a little bit faster. And I think that's a mistake. I think that subconsciously signals a little bit of nervousness to the crowd. And it's all about like staying in the pocket and just like creating my own time and letting the crowd come to me, if that makes sense. So I'm like, I think my pacing is a little more, just slightly more laid. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. I'll definitely have like a tape that I listen back to sometimes where I hear myself like your voice cracks a little bit or something where you're like I got a little too excited trying to keep them on the hook. And yeah, I don't totally know what you mean.
Yeah.
Now, I guess as the state of comedy goes right now with all the other specials that are coming out, are there any like big trends that you're noticing? I mean, people like talk about certain trends like everything's crowd work on Instagram now. I mean, is there anything that you think sticks out to you or anything that's maybe people kind of overhype?
Well, I think it does seem like the crowd work thing. There's almost like a backlash to that by now that people know it's kind of like we don't like it, and there's a reason why because it's kind of the same jokes over and over. It's not as magical as people think it is. It's a trick. Um, and unless it's done really really well, and when it's done incredibly well, it's mind blowing. Like when David Tell does it,
Yeah.
it's really a sight to see. But most of the time, it's not on David Tell's level because he's one guy. Um, but what I mean, the real trend is just like you said, like the YouTube special. I'm just so glad that mine like got some traction because it's hard. There's so much competition now. Everyone's putting out their own specials, and to me, the real question is how long can this go on for? Like, what are the returns on this? It's like I paid for the special out of pocket, right? And it's close to 1 million views, but I'm not anywhere near even making my money back yet.
Yeah.
And so, to me, the question is, where do we go from here? Like, are we just going to keep putting things out for free for people? It's like a little bit. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot as comedians by shot ourselves in the feet. I guess is plural. As comedians, like, gotten audiences trained to get stuff for free, and you can't come back from that. I'm just a little bit worried about that. Like, I don't know how many more times I'm gonna just keep investing into this, and if, I don't know if the returns are gonna be high enough. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's coming from a background of music, everyone is so like up in arms against streaming, and it's a beautiful thing for learning about music. It's beautiful to be able to just pull up all of this music I couldn't when I was younger, but I don't really even know how to feel about what's obviously I think people should be paid more, but I don't know what that looks like in a concrete way, you know. But whatever it is, I'm interested to see what comes out next, and I'm excited to see your set when you're here in Albany on February 4th at the Lark Tavern. And once again, for everyone, your new special is called Present Tense on YouTube. And is there anywhere else you want people to check you out? Maybe your website or your Instagram handle or anything like that?
Yeah, the Instagram handle is at Louis Katz Comedy. That's LOUISKATZ and the website's louiskatz.com. And yeah, check out my past videos, check out the special, and I hope to see you at the Lark Tavern.
Yeah, man. Thank you again. I'm gonna throw it back to Kalen now, but appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.